Hello, I'm Brandon Daake, the Registrar here at Heart Mountain, and I'd like to welcome you to this week's Digital Dusted Off. Some of the most famous stories from World War II revolve around men fighting more than just the Axis powers. The Tuskegee Airmen fought the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, as well as Jim Crow laws. Navajo code talkers fought the Japanese Army, as well as the boarding schools that tried to eliminate the language and culture that they were using to serve the United States. And the 442nd Regimental Combat Team fought not only the Wehrmacht, the German army in Italy and France, they fought to prove that themselves and their families in camps like Heart Mountain and the other concentration camps were just as American as anybody else. Less well known of a story, though, is the subject of today's Dusted Off. While many Nisei did go for broke and join the 442nd, others instead joined the Military Intelligence Service, or MIS. When most Nisei joined the Army, they undertook basic training at Fort McClellan. Here we have a photo of a platoon graduating from that training. However, when men joining the MIS finished that basic training, they undertook more training, usually at a language school at Fort Snelling, Minnesota. Again, a group of Nisei men at Fort Snelling. When they finished, they were often given certificates, and the stories of two of those men, George Daake and Harris Matsushita, will give us a look at what the Military Intelligence Service did. The MIS did not join their comrades in Italy or France, though. Instead, they turned their attention to the Pacific Theater. Their largest responsibility was interpreting for prisoners of war and captured Japanese documents. When the war ended, many MIS men had other tools that helped the Army of Occupation. Daake, for example, had degrees in economics from Stanford University already. And to read from his discharge papers, he helped examine Japanese records of war industrial concerns, analyzed records, and prepared reports for War Department to determine if industrial concerns were to be permitted to remain in business. While Harris Matsushita did not have George's economics background, he undertook more training to become a counterintelligence investigator. And according to his discharge papers, he served with the 441st Counterintelligence Corps Detachment in Japan, investigated Japanese organizations and meetings for subversive activities, investigated all violations of the Supreme Command Allied Powers directives, prepared detailed reports on all investigations. While the Military Intelligence Service may not be as famous as the 442nd, it is just as important. Good intelligence helps commanders make good decisions, and thanks to specialized training, the MIS helped rebuild Japan after the war and turn it into the country it is today. I hope you enjoyed this week's Dusted Off, and I hope you join us next week as we share more stories from our collection.